بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
الحمد لله حمدا كثيرا طيبا مباركا فيه كما يحب ربنا ويرضى أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله الناصح الأمين اللهم صل على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين ومن تمسك بسنته إلى يوم الدين ثم أما بعد يا عباد الله قال الله سبحانه وتعالى في كتابه الكريم وقالوا أإذا ضللنا في الأرض أإنا لفي خلق جديد بل هم بلقاء ربهم كافرون. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He says what means in His noble book. In Surah Sajdah, in the 10th ayah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He says, وَقَالُوا أي الكفار, the disbelievers they say, when we have become lost inside of the earth, when our bodies they have decayed and scattered throughout the earth, will we be created again from anew? Will we be created again from anew? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He says, بَلْ هُمْ بِلِقَاءِ رَبِّهِمْ كَافِرُونَ, but rather they are disbelievers in the meeting with their Lord. They are disbelievers in the meeting with their Lord. Imam Uthaymin rahmatullah alayhi, he mentions قال مفسر أي منكرو البعث, that it comes, the Mufassirin they mention, as it comes in Tafseer Jalalain, that what is meant is that they disbelieve and they deny the resurrection. The deniers of resurrection, the kuffar, they are deniers of resurrection. They don't believe that we will be resurrected. قالوا, they say, أي يريدون بهذه شبهة, they want by putting forward this doubt. They put forth a doubt. They present an argument that is false and that is erroneous nonetheless, but they present this argument. أإذا ضللنا في الأرض أإنا لفي خلق جديد, that when we have become dispersed inside of the earth, are we going to be created again anew? When we have become dispersed inside of the earth, will we be created again anew? أي غبنا فيها. Imam Uthaymin, he mentions what is meant and intended by this is غبنا فيها بأن صرنا ترابا مختلطا بترابها, meaning that we have become dispersed inside of the earth and that our particles they have become dirt and have become mixed with the dirt of the earth. The Mufassir he mentions, and Imam Uthaymin he reiterates, وَهَذَا مَعْنَى ضَلَلْنَا فِي الْأَرْضِ, and this is the meaning that when we have become dispersed, so when we have become lost inside of the earth, that when we have become dirt, when we are reduced to dust, and that dust becomes mixed with the dirt of the earth, shall we be created again from anew. وَإِذَا حَصَلَ ذَلِكَ, when this happens, they say, أَإِنَّا لَفِي خَلْقٍ جَدِيدٍ, when this happens, will we be created again? Istifham inkar. This is not a question that they are asking because they want guidance. This is not a question that they are asking because they want to know what is right, because they want to know what is true. But this is a question that they are asking in order to deny. They are denying by way of this. So this is a su'al istifham inkar. They're asking this so as to belittle it, so as to belie it, so as to say that this is something that is impossible, this is something that is unfathomable, that when we have become lost inside of the earth, when we have become dust, when we have become dirt and our dirt is mixed with the dirt of the earth, that we're going to be created again. This is their argument. يعني أن نكون في خلق جديد بعد أكلتنا الأرض will we be created again after the earth it has ate us away? وَضَلَلْنَا فِيهَا, and that our particles have become dispersed and spread throughout it. Al-istifham huna inkari. This question is as asking so as to deny. يعني, they say, لَن نَكُنْ كَذَلِكَ. It's not going to be like this. This is their doubt that they put forward. It is incumbent when we look at this doubt, and we look at every doubt and every argument that the kuffar they put forward to support their disbelief, to support their atheism, to support their crooked lifestyle, we find that all of it is not in reality a hujjah. All of it is not in reality a valid argument. And we find that their arguments, once they are examined, they are not strong. Their arguments, they fall apart, they fall by the wayside. Imam Uthaymeen, he mentions, he says, هَلْ هِيَ حُجَّةٌ أَمْ غَيْرُ حُجَّةٍ. Is this a real proof or is it not a proof? This argument that they put forward, that when we become scattered and lost inside of the earth, when we be created again anew, is this an argument of real proof and evidence, or is it not as such? Imam Uthaymeen, he says, Al-Jawab laysat bihujjatin, is that this is not in reality a valid argument. This is not a proof. لِأَنَّنَا نَقُولُ, he said, because we say, أَنْتُمْ خُلِقْتُمْ مِنْ تُرَابٍ. I want you to look at the fallacy of their arguments. I want you to look at the weakness of their arguments. I want you to examine the absurdity of the argument of the kuffar, that when we have become dirt, will we be created again anew? Imam Uthaymeen, he says, then verily we shall say, verily we say, Antum khuliqtum min turab. You have been created from dirt. وَالَّذِي خَلَقَكُمْ أَوَّلًا مِنْ تُرَابٍ قَادِرٌ عَلَىٰ أَنْ يَعِيدَكُمْ ثَانِيًا مِنْ هَذَا التُّرَابِ. And that the one who created you the first time from dirt, then he is most capable of creating you anew a second time from this dirt. فَهَذَا جَاءَ فِي هَذِهِ الْآيَةِ بَعْدَ ذِكْرِ خَلْقِ الْإِنسَانِ مِنْ طِينٍ. And it comes inside of this ayah after aforementioning earlier in the surah that the human beings were created from clay, the human beings were created from dirt. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, earlier in the surah, Allah ta'ala, he says, وَبَدَأَ خَلْقَ الْإِنسَانِ مِنْ طِينٍ. And we began man's creation from clay. We began man's creation from dirt. So just as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created us from dirt the first time, then verily Allah Azza wa Jal is most capable of creating us from dirt again, anew, a second time. So we see that the argument is an argument that falls, is an argument that is erroneous. And likewise, if you utilize this as a measuring stick, all of their arguments are arguments that fall. All of their arguments are arguments that fall, and arguments that when taken outside of the context of the subject in which they're trying to argue about, they themselves deny. Like those who say that the creation, it came about by itself. That the creation, all that we see, it just came about by itself, just happened to happen like that. But the ulama, when they put forward for them a parable, the kuffar, they don't accept it. They say, what if we were to say to you that a tremendous ship, it sails by itself, it maneuvers by itself throughout the oceans, and then it has come to port. And once it has come to port by itself, this ship that is tremendous and is carrying much cargo, then this cargo is unloaded by itself. This cargo gets unloaded by itself. And then the ship, it takes off and it goes away. Would you accept that? And the kuffar, they will say, no, we won't accept that. If it's a ship, then somebody had to make the ship. If it has cargo, someone had to load the cargo. If it made it to port, someone had to dock the ship. And once it made it to port, someone had to unload the cargo. What do you mean that all this happened by itself? I can't accept that. But yet you want us to accept that the heavens and the earth and all that is therein, me, you, and all that we see, it came about by itself? See, once the argument is taken outside of its context of that area in which they're trying to be obstinate in, they don't accept it because they don't see it as being a universal truth. And this therein is the refutation upon them. If it's not true here, how can it be true there? If it's not true with that which is less, how can it be true with that which is greater? If it's not true with this small, minute thing, how can it be true with the great, big, magnificent thing? Verily, no doubt, bila shak wa bila rayb, Allahu Ta'ala, He created us. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created the heavens and the earth. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala creates everything, and He is the arranger of everything. So the argument, it falls. We will be created again from dirt. You will create the first time from dirt, and you will be recreated from the dirt. And even if your particles have been scattered to the molecular level, you will still be brought back again. Allah is over all things most capable, and these things are easy for Allah. Remember, He says, وَمَا ذَلِكَ عَلَى اللَّهِ بِعَزِيزٍ. And this is not hard for Allah. This is very easy for Allah Azza wa Jal. When Allah Azza wa Jal wants for something, He must say to it, kun fayakun. Be, and thus it is. فَالَّذِي أَنْشَأَكُم مِّن تُرَابٍ قَادِرٌ عَلَىٰ أَن يَعِيدَكُم مِّنْهُ. The one who created you the first time from the dirt, who originated your creation from the dirt, then He is most capable of bringing you back from it. Subhanahu wa ta'ala. حَتَّى لَوْ فَنَى الْإِنسَانِ كُلُّ. Even if an individual is destroyed, all of them. مع أنه ورد في الحديث أنه يفنى كله إلا عجب الذنب. Because it comes inside the hadith that a human being, all of us will be gone. We will be decayed, except for that small little bone at the end of the spinal cord. That small little bone will be, that's it, that remains. But yet still, Allah Ta'ala, He will bring us back. If a person gets blown up and his parts are scattered to pieces, Allah Ta'ala, He will bring them back anew. Allah ala kulli shay'in qadir. Allah, He is over everything most capable. And this is an indication from us that you will not be able to escape. You will not be able to escape, but you will return to your Lord Jalla wa'ala. So Allah Azza wa Jal, He will bring us back. That no matter how much we decay, we will be brought back. And Allah Azza wa Jal showing us His power, showing us His might. Allah Azza wa Jal, He has decreed that the bodies of the Anbiya wal Rusul, that the bodies of the prophets and the messengers, that they will not decay. He has not allowed the earth to eat away at their bodies, but their bodies it shall remain. As it comes inside of that authentic hadith that the Prophet ﷺ mentioned to us, that the earth will not eat the bodies of the Anbiya and of the Rusul. Even though the Anbiya, even though the prophets and the messengers, they are from the human beings. Even though they are from the human beings and they were made from flesh, bone, meat, and muscle. Even with this being the case, Allah Azza wa Jal is capable over all things. So He has not allowed the earth to eat at their bodies. And with that, Allah Azza wa Jal, He has protected the Anbiya and the Rusul from being excavated, from their bodies being removed from their graves. He has protected them from such. But with this, Allah Azza wa Jal, He shows us His power. He shows us His might. As Allah Azza wa Jal, as Imam He mentions that He decreed for certain human beings as a miracle, also that their bodies do not decay, so that we have an example. But we're not able to see the bodies of the Anbiya and the Rusul because Allah Ta'ala, He has protected them from such. He has protected them from such. But then there are others that we may find who the earth has not eaten away at their bodies. And this is a sign for us, Allah ala kulli shay'un qadir, that Allah, He is over everything most capable, and that it is Allah's decree of what is going to be. If Allah decrees such to happen, thus it will be. If Allah does not decree something to happen, then it will never be. When we look at these ayat, we should reflect and we should ponder over the power of Allah Azza wa Jal, over the magnitude of Allah Azza wa Jal. And we should know, bila shak wa bila rayb, no matter what we do, we will never escape. We will never escape. هذا أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم ولجميع المسلمين فاستغفروه فإنه هو الغفور الرحيم. بسم الله والحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وبعد. Ya ibadallah, it is a must that we contemplate and we reflect over the Qur'an, that we deeply ponder over the ayat of Allah Azza wa Jal, and that we have a serious concern to have the Qur'an, the reading of it and the contemplation of it a part of our daily regimen. This is of extreme importance, a vital need. The Imam, he points out something that is tremendous here. قال مفسر رحمة الله عليه بل هم بلقاء ربهم أي بالبعث كافرون. He says that they are with the meeting of their Lord disbelievers. And he says that what is intended by the meeting with their Lord, although this is mentioned specifically, they are disbelievers in what? In the ba'th, in the resurrection. Yani, they're disbelievers in the resurrection. And then he brings something that is tremendous and is for us to contemplate over. And that is, as the ulama, they mentioned, the one who disbelieves in the resurrection. من كفر بالبعث فهو كفر بلقاء الله ومن كفر بلقاء الله فهو كفر بالله. That whoever disbelieves in resurrection, then he disbelieves in the meeting with his Lord. He disbelieves that he will meet his Lord. And whoever disbelieves that he will meet his Lord, in essence, he disbelieves in his Lord. So whoever disbelieves in the resurrection, then in reality, he disbelieves in Allah Azza wa Jal. So Allah Azza wa Jal, he says, بَلْ هُمْ بِلِقَاءِ رَبِّهِمْ كَافِرُونَ. But rather they are disbelievers in the meeting with their Lord. Why? Because they disbelieve in the resurrection. If you disbelieve in the resurrection, you have to disbelieve in the meeting with your Lord. And if you disbelieve in the resurrection and in the meeting with your Lord, then you have to disbelieve in Allah Azza wa Jal. So even though they may claim belief in Allah Azza wa Jal, in reality they do not believe in Allah Azza wa Jal. Allah Azza wa Jal, he makes this extremely clear. We will not escape no matter what we say, no matter what we think. It has no bearing on reality. It is what it is. We don't change what is real. A person, he could deny it obstinately. A person, he could deny it arrogantly. But the reality is, as Allah Ta'ala, he says, Ya ayyuhal insan, innaka kadihun ila rabbika kadahan famulaqih. O human being, verily you are returning back to your Lord with whatever you may have with you from deeds in tow. You are returning back to your Lord with your deeds, whether your deeds are good or your deeds are bad. Whether you are good doer or you are evil doer. Whether you are one who is righteous or you are a criminal who is sinner. Whether you are one who is believing in Allah Azza wa Jal or you are one who disbelieves in Allah Azza wa Jal, it does not change the fact that you're moving in one direction, and that is back to the meeting with Allah Azza wa Jal. So regardless of what an individual may think, regardless of what philosophy he may try to put forward, regardless of how he may try to beautify it with his speech, it does not change reality. We are returning to Allah Azza wa Jal with our deeds in tow. And Allah Ta'ala, he says that we're returning back to Allah. We're returning back to our Lord with a sure returning. فَمُلَاقِيهِ. And verily we were going to meet him soon. We're going to meet him soon. And this is the reality. Our meeting with Allah Ta'ala, it is soon. So in the next ayah, Allah Azza wa Jal, Allah Azza wa Jal, he says to our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, but rather say to them, Allah Ta'ala, he says, قُلْ. Rather you say to them, O Muhammad, these ones who deny the resurrection, these ones who deny the hereafter, these ones who believe in we only live once, as they say, the kuffar, this is famous on their tongues right now, YOLO, we only live once, a'udhu billah, what you mean? You're going to be returned back to Allah Azza wa Jal. That don't mean to give you a license, do what you want to do in this dunya. You're going to answer for it in the akhirah. But this is what they say, this is from their philosophies, and many of the Muslims, wa'iyadu billah, they have put it on their tongues. You see it upon their social media posts and so on and so forth, saying this kafir statement, not realizing the what's implied by it. They say this to say, do what you want, how you want, when you want, because you only live once, so you might as well enjoy yourself with whatever. No, the believer, he is what? He has restraint. The believer, he restricts himself to that which is halal. The believer, he strives to run away from that which is haram. The believer, at dunya sijnu mu'min, this dunya is a prison for the believer. What jannatul kuffar? This is the jannah for the kuffar. This is what they have chosen for their jannah. What an evil exchange is that? What a lowly exchange is that? What a most absurd exchange is that? But this is what they have chosen. But this does not mean it ends here, no, but rather they will be questioned about what they used to do. Rather they will be punished for their disbelief, punished for their sins, punished for their transgressions, punished for their crimes. Because no matter what, we are held accountable. So, Allah Ta'ala, he tells our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, قُلْ. No, rather say to them, يَتَوَفَّاكُمْ مَلَكُ الْمَوْتِ الَّذِي وُكِّلَ بِكُمْ. That rather the angel of death, يَتَوَفَّاكُمْ. Meaning what? He's going to grab you. He's going to grab you. For the lack of time, he won't get into what he mean. He mentions from the grammatical points of this word. But يَتَوَفَّاكُمْ أي يَقْبِضُكُمْ. He's going to grab you. He's going to snatch you. What is being referred to here as being grabbed? What is being referred to here as being snatched once it has come to its end? What is being referred to as being grabbed and taken? Murad qabdu al-arwah. What is intended is that he is the one who will snatch their souls. He is the one that will take their souls when their life has come to an end. The angel of death, and this is his job, to take the souls of the human beings, to take their souls. So no matter what any of us may think, no matter what any of us may try to put forward, we're all going to end this life in death. As you see, this life here, it ends in death. Everybody who's alive, well, your life is going to end in death. You understand? Life ends in death. So it is incumbent upon us, knowing that our end is all the same, is that we're all going to meet our end one day, that we understand that the end of this life is not the end. No, it's not the end, but rather it is the beginning for forever. And that forever will be dependent on how we live this life, these few days and months and years that we are on this earth. We have to make sure that we are utilizing them in the obedience of Allah Azza wa Jal. We have to make sure that we are utilizing them believing in Allah Azza wa Jal properly, following the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, being upon the way of the Sahaba. This is the only way for one to live his life, because this is the directions, this is the command of the one who created life, how he commands us to live our life, and that is in his obedience. And it is incumbent that we remember this, because especially in this society that is filled with toil, that is filled with work, and we are interjected into the rat race, that we remember that this is not the goal. This is not the goal. The goal is not that next promotion. The goal is not putting in those hours because of that next check. The goal is not looking for this or looking for that from this worldly affair. But the goal is preparing for our hereafter, preparing for our forever, so that we are not those who will come Yawmul Qiyamah and say, woe unto me had I prepared for my life. Ya laytani qaddamtu li hayati. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us of those who never will say that statement in the hereafter. Oh, woe unto me, I didn't put forward anything for my life. You see? Li hayati, for my life. Because that's the real life, the life in Jannah. This here is nothing. This is why it's the dunya. It's low, it's nothing. The real life is in the hereafter. But we have to utilize this life for our real life, so that we are not those who will say on the day of judgment, woe unto me had I but prepared and put something forward for my life. Because then it's too late. There's no going back. It's over. So it's incumbent that we remember this reality, because no matter what, no matter how rich we were, no matter how poor we were, no matter how strong and big and tough we were, no matter how weak and feeble we were, no matter what, everyone is going to die. All human beings are going to die. All of them. All human beings. All the jinn. Everything will perish. Except for Allah Azza wa Jal. Allah Azza wa Jal, He says, ثُمَّ إِلَىٰ رَبِّكُمْ تُرْجَعُونَ. And then unto your Lord shall you return. And then unto your Lord shall you return. So we have to remember that our return is unto Allah Azza wa Jal. Allah Azza wa Jal, He will hold us accountable for what we have done. Remember Uthaymeen, he says, ثُمَّ إِلَىٰ رَبِّكُمْ تُرْجَعُونَ. And then unto your Lord you shall return. In Allah's statements, أحياء, alive. You'll be brought back to life. You'll return back to Allah Azza wa Jal, alive. فَيُجَازِيكُمْ. And He will reward you بِأَعْمَالِكُمْ. He'll reward you for what you have put forward. Whatever you put forward from deeds, If they are worthy of reward, then you will be rewarded by Allah Azza wa Jalla. And whatever you have put forward from deeds, if from justice you are to be punished, then you will be punished by Allah Azza wa Jalla. Juyaanee ba'd al-maut, after your death, يرجع الإنسان إلى ربه فيجازى بعمله. After your death, the individual, he will go back to his Lord and he will be rewarded for his actions, or he will be punished for his actions. يجازى بعمله إن خيرا فخير وإن شرا فشر. If his deeds are good, then it will be good for him. Be good for him. What do you mean, his Lord? But if his deeds are evil, then oh, that will be the most awful thing for him. That will be the most awful and worst thing for him. When we live through this life, I don't want us to think about the next check, the next job, the next promotion, the next commodity from the commodities that we want. Because see, that's the nature of the dunya. We're never satisfied. We get one thing, we want another thing. One house, we want a bigger house. One car, a nicer car. One gadget, technology gadget, new phone, new this, new that. Then it comes out something new. Now we want the other one. Want the upgrade. That's the nature of this life. Sometimes the shaitan, he tries to get us to, or the shaitan, not sometimes, but the shaitan, he tries to get us to focus on these things. Keep our sight limited to the dunya. I don't want you to look at whatever these worldly goals are, because they're nothing. Oh, when I finish school, when I get this degree, when I don't look at none of that stuff. I want you to look at the real goal, and that is, when you meet Allah Azza wa Jalla, do you want to meet Allah and you have what you good, so thus is good? Or are you comfortable meeting Allah with evil, and thus you have to bear the brunt of that to now be burnt in the hellfire? Think about that time. Think about that point when you meet your Lord. Whether you'll meet your Lord while He's pleased with you or while He's angry with you. Think about that. Prepare for that. That's the only goal that's important. That's the only goal that's important. That's the only goal that's important. Nothing else is important. So reflect upon that. Prepare for that. Live your life in preparation for that. So that when you die and are resurrected, you're cool with that. فَأَقِيمُوا الصَّلَاةَ.